Hello there, my name is Jason, a third year medical student and also the co-founder of Memo. Today I'm going to showcase one of the cool workflows that is a new feature within Memo, and this is pioneered and actually suggested from one of my friends in medical school. And a lot of medical students, even students, actually use this sort of workflow, and that is PDF to Notion toggles. So primarily for memorization of large amounts of content, for example, in this case, microbiology, is we would use several different ways. So students might prefer, for example, flashcards, like Anki flashcards, and that's why we actually, the main purpose of building Memo is to be able to speed up and automate that process. So in this case, you can see that this lecture has been generated a ton and ton of these flashcards from this lecture slide, and this is done using the deep dive mode that we have. And within deep dive, you could basically select each type of flashcards that you want. And what the memo agent in deep dive will do is that it'll actually go through every single page like a normal human will do, look through every single page and try to generate questions from that. And you can see, for example, let's say page 4, I could see what's happening and it has generated cards, and in page 6 it has generated a table for us as well. So this is the the initial sort of problem that we're solving. And with other introduction of other modes, for example, learn mode, which basically is an enhanced version of the Anki spaced repetition, but with automatic grading, got flashcards, practice tests, and of even a really revolutionary voice-enabled tutor. Memo really brings a lot of the AI-powered learning in one seamless package. So let's just basically go over what the toggle mode is. So a lot of students, besides from flashcards, really like to actually use, for example, Notion toggles. So that's why we introduced Notes mode a while back. And Notes mode essentially is a freeform Notes Notion-like style toggle system. So for example, I could just simply have numbered list here, and for example, gut, Cocidia, and blah blah. And all the other modes, for example, get insert images, are all right here in handy. So I could have a horizontal rule, insert images, and even have these toggles. So primarily today, I'm going to talk about this toggle. Now, toggle is actually a really powerful feature for active recall. So besides from flashcards, toggle allows you to have the question or the front of the flashcard in the front as well as the back of the flashcard. So again, all these are really multi-formatting, so you could bold, italic, etc. Now, what's cool is that you could obviously toggle on and off so that you could prompt your brain to keep on doing active recall. And besides from doing this manually, we also have all these presets here that essentially you could see the presets. What they do is that it fetches the content from the PDF and it will give you a first draft. Instead of typing it all manually, it would give you a first draft of these notes, which is essentially really decent. So it's a really decent first draft that you can have. As you can see, this is quite a long lecture, so it really gave out quite a bit of decent notes. And what's cool is obviously I can modify it, etc. I could export it. You could always export the notes as a markdown or a PDF here at the top right corner. So if I want to just delete it all, I can now regenerate. As you can see, we have these 4 modes: before notes, table notes, which is basically notes but in table formats. Cornell is a note-taking style with the active recall prompt on the left-hand side and the notes on the right-hand side, the summary at the bottom, which is provenly quite effective because you could, like, for example, when you print it out, you could cover up your right-hand margin, and you've got the prompt on the right-hand side to promote active recall. Summary essentially summarizes the whole PDF for you. It's kind of similar to the chat where you're pressing summarize the deck. And now the new toggle mode is what I want to sort of introduce in this type of workflow. So the workflow that we're going to propose today in Memo actually enables a ton of workflows that you can do and you can plug it in very specialized. So what's going on here is that you can see it's generating these toggles, and these toggles are like the overall like the outline of the entire lecture. And as you can see, each toggle has this sort of cute emoji that's also been added in front of it, just to make it more friendly and playful to interact with and study. So as you can see here, we already have what our gut Cassidia in here, and we have the extracted bullet list in here directly. So this is amazing workflow because, as you can see, there's a tons of stuff there. It's generated treatment, cycloplasma, cytokinesis, right? So I could obviously review this in Memo directly, which is awesome. I could read this, hide and show the toggles. I could also review it on mobile. So on mobile, it would essentially look something like this, right? So on mobile, you could install the Memo iOS app via the share sheet. In the bottom tab bar in iOS and Android, you can press install and go to your home screen, and you could review your notes directly in Memo on the go. And so now a lot of users and a lot of my friends in med school, or a lot of university students, or perhaps maybe you, really like using Notion. And Notion is a beautiful, brilliant note-taking app that obviously inspired a lot of us of building Memo as well. In Memo Notes tab, it's really hugely inspired by the beauty of Notion. Now, Notion is essentially pioneered the block-based note-taking system, and a lot of students love to use the toggle feature. So we have the question and the answer, right? Notion is fantastic. Now, what's really cool is that all these text and toggles are actually transferable to Notion. So what do I mean? So when I select it all, and then I press Command C or Control C on Windows, I could paste it into Notion. And when I press Command V, as you can see, fantastic. Now I could paste it all in Notion, and it retains the styling of the entire thing, even with the indentation of the bullets and the sub-indentation of bullets. It's fantastic. So now I can continue to work on this or review it on Notion, which is fantastic. Obviously, the choice is there for you. I could still edit and retain it on Memo with Cloud Sync. Memo has Cloud Sync built in, and when I, for example, type anything, it will save automatically with autosave. And yeah, so today it's just a quick workflow and a showcase to you. Just upload your PDF into Memo, create these amazing toggles for active recall, and you could transfer and paste it to Notion. So this is probably one of the best sort of PDF to Notion toggle generation tools out there on the market, and you can now try it for free on Memo. So that's it for me today, and I'll see you guys in the next video.